Hello, and welcome to the first iteration of the Strong House. This is a YouTube channel that myself and Rosie have been looking to do for a while now, but we've always come up with if, whats and maybes as to why we shouldn't do it. So we thought for the first episode we would talk about the official Strongman games, about our experiences there and the lead up to it. And going forward, we're going to talk about all kind of things strongman and our unique position within the sport. Obviously, we're a couple. We're both competitive in the sport, and we're also raising a 9-year-old. So this is a fairly unique position, and we think it's fairly unique content to make. So first of all, we wanted to talk about coaching, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, sort of the coaching that we had into the World Finals, and sort of the way that we prepped for that comp and the reasons why. So I've ran the full OSG pathway this year, from England's to Brits to Europe's and then to Worlds. I started off this year with Josh Lancaster, who I've been with pretty much since the inception of my time in Strongman. After Europe's, I made the decision to start programming myself for Worlds. I've sort of had Josh as my right hand man.
Right arm man, yeah, good.
He's been such a solid right arm man. But no, we've been in sort of regular contact if I've had any specific problems that have needed solving or anything really nerdy. I've sort of had a back and forth with Josh throughout, and it has been quite a nerdy prep with quite a lot to sort of pick apart for me at the sort of 64 worlds weights, but we'll get onto that when we talk about the actual events, hey? Mm-hmm. So your prep?
Yeah, I was moved coaches, so I was with John Mallon, Strength Forge, for a long time, and I came away from John probably about 6 months ago or so. Had some time coaching myself, and then I've been working with Ben Glasscock, also known as BLG Strength, for the last couple of months or so, probably closer to 3 months now. And yeah, it's been really, really good. I had 2 competitions very close to each other, so I had Ultimate Strongman.
That was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, England's Strongest Man, and then I also had official Strongman games afterwards. But England's Strongest Man was, in terms of crowd and everything, was way bigger than OSG really. But obviously OSG, if you come in top 3 there, it's kind of pretty career changing in this sport. So yeah, what did we want to talk about next? We are looking off screen that way because we've got a laptop for cues. What we want to speak about.
So, what were the strengths and limitations in each prep? So, what was going well? For me, all of my static lifts went phenomenally, probably better than they've ever gone. Up until about 3 weeks out, I really, really did believe that I was going to do some off-the-scale static stuff. Mm-hmm. So I hit my first 95 kilo log this prep, which was about a 10 kilo log PB at the time. And I also hit a 215 kilo deadlift for a triple, which would have been beyond my wildest dreams as top sets in any prep. About 2 weeks out, that all just massively dropped off, didn't it? And I don't know if it was just that my food had decreased so much at that time. But yeah, statically, from about 2 weeks out, I did start feeling significantly weaker. But I trusted the process, trusted the prep. And yeah, it was more of a technical, skill-based prep for me, in that most of the events were sort of 60% of my top end. So the sandbag steeplechase was 70 and 80 kilos. There was a frame that was 180. So it was all sort of more speed based events and working out ways where I could save 0.5 of a second and 0.3 of a second here. So the main limitation of my prep was that it was quite frustrating, in that it wasn't really about getting stronger. It was more about getting more efficient and shaving seconds off, which was vastly different to you, wasn't it?
Yeah. For me, official Strongman Games was a very, very heavy competition. It's kind of at the top end of my capabilities, really. For example, one of my main limitations was knee problems. I had some knee problems come out of nowhere in the last month. No, I've not had knee problems for probably 2 years, and it's not even something I normally have to consider. But I don't know if it's just changing kind of volume and stuff like that, and potentially changing training style and having to train intensely, obviously, for a comp like this. And it just really made me struggle with patella tendonitis for like push pressing mainly. So my log just fell off. Log's normally one of my best. So the dog is doing her best to irritate me. Log is normally one of my best events, and it turned into one of my worst events just because, well, not one of my worst events, but a weaker event just because it was really, really hard to get any decent quality of training in that last month with a bad knee. But my deadlift went exceptionally well, best it's ever been. Moving was very well, I was the fittest I've ever been. So overall, the limitations were outweighed by benefits elsewhere.
So should we talk about actually getting to Texas?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good overall.
So it was the longest flight I've ever done by a long way. And the hardest part of managing that is obviously I was balls deep into water loading at the point that we flew. So on the day that we had the 10-hour flight, I think I had 8 litres of water to get through. I had a flask of hot boiled eggs, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I was just popping them into my mouth whole, wasn't I? Sneakily.
And then the flight was okay, wasn't it? We weren't really...
Oh, really? It's just weighing then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in terms of the actual weight cut, I think I was 67... Was I 66? What was I when I flew out? 66. I was on the 66s flying out, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so flying out and still in the water stage, I think I was about 66 kilos, so I had 2-point-something kilos to drop before the competition. I think by the night before, I was sitting at about 65.1, and then I'd been dropping around about a kilo overnight. So morning of, I think I woke up at 64.3 kilos. Mm-hmm. So I had around 300 grams to lose before weigh-in. And because things had gone so well and were so on track, I hadn't planned to do a sweat protocol at all. And I just thought that last 300 grams would just drop off me by the time we weighed in. And that just didn't happen, did it? No. So an hour before weigh-in, I realised that I still had 300 grams to drop. We ended up running a panic bath. The water simply wouldn't get hot enough. So I'm sitting in the bath. Joe's got 4 pans on the hob and is panic boiling 4 pans of water at a time. We realised that less water was better per pan, didn't we?
It was better with pans and not pots.
Yeah, we needed
surface area.
Frying pans, better for the job. Yeah, so Joe was topping up the bath with frying pans. I think I lost about another 200 grams there, and then we thought, that'll do. Let's get to the venue, didn't we?
Yeah, so you got loads of layers on, and then we turned up the heat in the car and everything.
And then we got out of the car, and the heavens opened, didn't we? We got out of the car at the car park. It started torrential raining. By the time I got into the venue, I was soaking wet. Hair had filled with water, and I got on the scales, and I was 400 grams over again. So there was a small catastrophe at the venue where I thought that I wasn't going to make weight, but around 45 minutes later, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Around 45 minutes later, I did eventually make weight, and it was fine, wasn't it? It was fine.
Yeah.
Joe obviously didn't have to weigh in because he's a big fat open.
But I actually came into this probably my lightest I've competed in 18 months. I came into this competition at about 152 kilos, so that's lighter than I've been for a long time.
I think when you did the Static Monsters, you were 162 or 16.
It was the Chaos last year. It was the Chaos Strongest Man. I was at 162 for that, and that was in November last year, I believe, maybe December. So yeah, I've lost about 10 kilos since then, and I'm at about 150 now.
So, shall we get into it? Mm-hmm. Day one.
Day one of official Strongman Games was, for you, not a great day, was it?
Fucking hell, was it?
in terms of
yes,
for your
so
goals.
Day one should have been my day. And it just wasn't my day. So we didn't really sort out the jet lag by day. I wasn't in the time zone, I don't think, by day one.
No.
But I won't use that as an excuse for my performance because I don't.
People not in the time zone, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think that was the problem. We'd been to a gym not the day before weigh-in, hadn't we? We'd been to Battle Axe Barbell and we had tried some of the kit there. So
very good gym, by the way.
It was a very good gym, made us very welcome. And we did get to try some of the comp-specific kit there, which was a massive advantage. And to be honest, it just made me feel even more confident about the log. I cleaned the empty log and several times, and I said to you, didn't I? Like, I'm gonna press the shit out of that log. I was so confident. Warm-ups were reasonable. I hit 86 on the log that we were gonna use in the warm-up area, and at that time, Camilla and Shannon were both hadn't pressed comp weight in warm-ups, so obviously I'm thinking, I've only got to do one rep with that big one, which I can definitely do because I've just done it. And I'll beat Camilla and Shannon and I'll be in front on points. And then I didn't get it. I went out and didn't get it. It was probably the closest fail I've ever done or seen, really. I locked the log out quite nicely. It wasn't in front of me, but the second I locked it out, it all came falling down. It was so close that I couldn't accept that I couldn't do it again. So I tried again. The second attempt was a bit further off. So I did the smart thing, jumped down to the second log, and I did manage to get 3 really good reps in 20 seconds, which ordinarily I'd be really happy with for the weight. It's probably the fastest I've ever repped that weight, and after failing nearly 90 twice, great, but it wasn't the log performance that I wanted, which then did knock my confidence going into the frame. I didn't warm up properly on the frame because my head wasn't right from the log, I forgot things that I should have remembered, and the first day was not good for me. I think I ended up in day 9 and I'd sort of been anticipating finishing day 1 very close to the leaderboard. So at that point I rang Josh, sort of adjusted the goalposts for the rest of the competition and just made a mental thing that the next day I just had to stay in the top 10. And that was a bit of a turning point in the competition for me, accepting that. And Joe, obviously,
that was the hardest day for you, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And once you kind of been able to reframe everything for the second day and the third day, you were a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the first day was quite frustrating as well. Well, I say that, it wasn't bad. I mean, I knew I wasn't hit the top rep, so my top weight on the log was 182 kilos. It was 400 pounds.
Which I think at the start of the prep we thought you'd be.
I thought I'd be able to.
Yeah, we thought you'd be good for that.
That's about my BB. So that's about what I've pressed before. And to be fair, I think you're always punching if you think you can hit your PB on a comp log and a comp day. In a different continent, but at first that's what we thought anyway. We reframed with prep. So my log was 163 point something kilos, about 164 kilos. Middle log I went for. So my goal on that was to get 2 to 3 reps, depending on how the log felt, because they are different logs compared to what we're used to in the UK. So warm-ups felt really, really good, and then I did the first rep of the competition, and it was really, really good. It felt very easy, and I was really happy with it. And in my excitement, I then went for another rep too quickly, put my head through too quickly, and I just immediately my arms came down with the log.
Which was frustrating because I've paced the shit out of you on some sessions this prep, haven't I?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my pace was off. I think it was just I just did a bad rep, and then I went for a third and I didn't get that. But the second one was debatable. It was debatable. Some refs would have given me, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
There was a split second where it was locked out and everything was.
Yeah.
One of them things happens, and then frame. It's a very heavy frame for us. 370 kilos on not a very nice frame. I'd worked up to 380 in prep, so I was quite confident with it. But when I actually felt the thing, I was like, oh my God, like this is a hard frame. It was
different, wasn't it? I mean, the handles, we've sort of had the luxury of gripping wherever we want on a parallel bar, haven't we? But we had sort of set out handles, so you had to grip it.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot
where
of
it was.
length on them, was there? And then, but I got it just over 20 metres, which to be fair is a PB for distance, and I was happy with it. I thought I may have been able to finish it, but then on that, when I turned round on the return 15 metres, it was just really, really hard, as simple as that.
That ended up being pretty good points anyway, didn't it?
There was a lot of people that just didn't get it very far at all. It's a hard frame.
So where were you at the end of day one on?
I think
about 20 something.
Yeah, I was about 22nd, I think, 23rd, something like that, after the end of day one, which was frustrating, but that's kind of, to be fair, I didn't know what to expect. We had 30-odd guys, and you've got such a massive array of kind of ability in the opens, yeah.
So, how that affected things going into day 2, blah, blah, blah. We've done that. So, day 2 was the deadlift, ladder, and the sandbag steeplechase. So, again, the deadlift had gone well for me in prep. I knew that I was good for a very fast 3, because I'd got incredibly competent with the Versagrips, which was another Josh Lancaster recommendation. Around 70% of all the deadlifting that I did this prep was like at a super low percentage and just dialing into the skill work on those straps. I ended up doing that very, very well on the day, and I was the fastest to get 3 bars, and I got 3 bars in I think 12.1 seconds, so I strapped into all 3 as well in that time, so less than 4 seconds per bar. I did really believe that I was going to pull all 4 all the way through the prep. There was no doubt in my mind. And then as I approached it on the day, I sort of laughed at myself because it didn't move a millimetre. it didn't even flex. there was no movement of the bar whatsoever. Yeah. But I think part of that was as well that I'd gone so fast between the first 3, and I had a YOLO moment, but that was a very good placing for me to be placing, I think, was it 5th or 5th? Something like that, yeah. 5th, I think, in the deadlift at Worlds, when I know that more than 4 of those girls have got a bigger max than me, was a really good result. Yeah. And I think that pulled me back immediately after that event. I think that pulled me back to 8th place. After that was the steeplechase, and this is another one that I sort of had misplaced trust in, because I've just done Europe's 73s with considerably heavier sandbags, and the only person to beat me in that field was Laura Hollywood, who is probably the best 73 on the planet at that sort of event. So it's an event that repeatedly I have done very, very well in, but it's just slightly too light for me to be competitive, isn't it, at those sort of weights when all of the field can run with the bags and run really fast. It's difficult for me to separate from the field. So I think there was something like 6 of us who scored between 1 second, was there?
Yeah.
So it was incredibly close. I imagine it was great to watch from an audience perspective, but in my opinion, it was too light for there to be separation in the field.
It's one of the problems with OSG, isn't it? I mean, it was absolutely fantastic, but one of the things is that the lightweight ladies,
I
for some reason,
underestimate.
The medleys are just always so light. And we always think that whenever we see them, don't we?
Because I think if you make that an 80 and 100 kilo sandbag, I think that half of the field don't even finish the event, which I think is right. But you can't write your own competition, can you? Even if you'd really like to. So I think what I was expecting to be another top 3 finish, I think I ended up being something like 8th. So still respectable, well within the top 10, but for an event that I do consider myself to be a specialist in, it wasn't the results that I would have hoped for. So again, at that point, I'd finished day 2. I was within the top 10, which is the goal that I'd set myself for that day. So I was sort of okay with everything. Obviously, still disappointed, but I was okay with everything at that point and just pleased that I'd made the final. And I was really looking forward to watching Joe do the same events that evening.
That's one of the things John actually spoke about that we should have, is that we had very big separation between our events. So obviously I'm in the men's open, Rosie's in the women's under 64s. Her events were pretty much first thing in the day, so around 10 o'clock, and mine were in the evening, so mine were around 5:30, 6.
Which was really nice, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got really nice long days in between, and we just, as soon as Rosie finished, we left.
Yeah.
And then we had a nice, good few hours. We went and did some looking around thrift stores and stuff, didn't we? Went to the supermarket, had a coffee, then went back to the Airbnb, chilled out for a bit. It was really good.
It's really, we found that you can just really exhaust yourself just hanging around in that sort of environment, watching other people's events.
We realised that even before we even competed, didn't we?
Yeah.
Even after the weigh-in, we were just like, oh, there's just so many people there. It's a lot more calming to just get out.
And you find yourself just telling the same stories over and over again to every person you see, and for me, reliving misery over and over again to every person I see, saying this went wrong and this went wrong, and then that's just me overanalyzing things again as I'm telling them. So
my event, my day 2, the deadlift went really, really well.
Really, really fucking well.
Yeah. So my bars were basically from just under 330, so 328 kilos, 348 kilos, something like that, then 369 kilos, then 385 kilos. So I pulled the first 3 in just over 20 seconds.
Well, you also used the...
I used the VersaGrips, yeah. Thank you to Paul Smith for that. He lent me his VersaGrips when he saw me struggling and being really crap, trying to strap in fast with figure 8s. So I got on with them so well, and I'm actually going to buy some myself because I actually really, really enjoyed deadlifting with VersaGrips. So, yeah, thanks for that. But, first 3 bars I did really quickly in my field.
I think the third one moves better than either of us imagined it would.
The third one, it needed a bit of a hitch towards the top, but it was really no problem. For 370 kilos to move like that, when my max at this moment is 380 kilos in the suit, it was really mental. And I'm actually pretty confident that I've probably got a 400 kilo pull in me now, but I'm not going to exploit that at the minute or express that strength at the minute. Anyway, yeah, I had a really good shot at the 385, got it above my knees, just couldn't finish the hitch, wasn't strong enough, but really close, so I was happy with that. And then
that put you in a really good spot for the...
Yes, so basically I ended in after that event, I was in 12th place, and
we really believed you could do it, didn't we?
I was 2 points off being able to go into the final. I thought, I can do this. Anyway, for the sandbag medley, the first one was an Atlas. Well, it was like an Atlas stone ball, wasn't it?
Ball bag.
Ball bag. So we did the ball bag, the first one, and then the second bag was a traditional sandbag, 160 kilos. The ball bag being close to 150 kilos. So I'd been shouldering it the whole of prep. It'd been going really well.
So I mean shouldering it and then running
the bag, running to the post, and then throwing it over the post. And because I was shouldering it, I could launch the bag like 7 foot. It was really, really effective at getting the sandbag far over the bar. So I thought, I'll do that. And I practiced it, and did loads of warm-ups with it, and I was really confident with it.
And I came down to the warm-ups and I said, Joe, that's definitely not going to fall off your shoulder, is it?
No.
No, it's never done that.
But anyway, I shouldered it, easy enough. And then I saw the boys either side of me, it's the 3 lanes, just take off. And obviously that's going to happen because I'm taking more time to shoulder it. But the idea is I then shoulder it, I get it further over the bar, therefore don't have to run with it as far, and I take over there. But anyway, I just...
He fucked it.
I didn't allow myself to...
It fell off your shoulder, Joe.
I didn't allow myself to stabilise the bag.
Fell off his shoulder.
It fell off my shoulder. I went further.
He fell off his shoulder and he had to pick it up again, and it was that extra pick, wasn't it? That
the extra pick was really tiring. I dropped it maybe a foot short of the bar.
It was very unfortunate.
Load it over, then picked it up and loaded it again. Then ran back for the 160 bag. By this time, I was very gassed. It was very heavy. And then I picked that bag and loaded it over the first post.
So you got 3.
By that point, I got 3 loads. And by that point, there was actually hope that would have still qualified me, because
so many of them hadn't got past
people didn't even
finish the first bag.
Or they did the first load and that was it, because it really was extremely hard. It was the hardest loading medley I've ever done, and it wasn't even just being gassed; it was just so heavy. It really was.
I think the stone bags really did throw a lot of people. I mean, we were lucky that we've got them, or at least we've got up to a 120, haven't we, at our gym? So you did have some idea of how to best approach them. Mm-hmm. But I think the guys who'd not had that exposure really, really struggled with that pick, especially the guys who've got a bigger gut. You know, because it's all so much further away from you.
Some guys did insanely well on that. Like Jamie Butler from Wales, he did insanely well on that. I mean, the guy is a human square, and he is so fit and he's so good at that. And then also Austin Ham, he had a bad first day, but then really, really pulled it back. And then that event, watching him do that was absolutely incredible. Yeah. So I think that placed me like 11th or something. Basically, I ended up with 2 points to get to the final. So I was 2 points off. So I finished in 12th place, and I was actually really, really happy with that.
Well, I mean, going into it, the best case, you wanted top half, didn't you? Top half. So it was almost painful to be so close to making the third day, even though you thought you had no business originally. So that was Saturday. Was that so that was Saturday. Did we do anything Saturday night? Did we celebrate it in any way?
No, that's when we went and had that chicken, wasn't it?
That chicken?
We went to Babe's Chicken House.
Oh, we did go to Babe's Chicken House, yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Nice, we got like a share-sized, traditional, what's...
Chicken dinner. American chicken dinner.
A Southern American.
Fried chicken.
But there was the biscuits, wasn't there?
Fried chicken biscuits, green beans, sweet corn.
It was real good, wasn't it?
It was very, very nice.
It was real good. So that was that, and then we had the finals. The finals were Sunday morning, which obviously I did. I thought that I was going into the finals in 6th place. Yeah. But I wasn't. I wasn't. So obviously after day 2, when they sort of rejig the points, it sort of your placing can change when they sort of pull everyone out of the leaderboard who hasn't qualified. So I think I changed from, I was in 7th place, and then when we went to bed, I jumped up to 6th place. So at that time, before I went to bed, I'm like, oh my God, I could make top 5. I'm one placing away, I could make top 5. So I went to bed really manifesting that. Not that the manifesting had done me any much good that far in. But I really manifested that, and then I woke up in the morning, checked the leaderboard again, and it had bumped me back down to 7th. So I knew that I couldn't catch top 5, or if I did, it'd be very, very unlikely. So I just decided for the final just to enjoy it. I thought, I'm definitely going to end the day in the top 10. Something's got to go majorly wrong for me to sort of drop any placings. So just enjoy it now, put on some really nice shorts and have a great time. And that was what I did, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So the dumbbell, again, I really did believe that I could get all 4. I'd tried 50 kilos at Battle Axe barbell when I was completely depleted. And I got a couple of really nice reps with the 50. The only difference was the handles were so fat, weren't they? I mean, we've got a relatively fat handle circus dumbbell at our gym, and this was another level of girth. So everything did feel slightly further away. I thought that the practice that I did get with that dumbbell was really valuable, actually, because I realised that I couldn't clean it the way that I had been cleaning a monster dumbbell in the prep, so I had to adapt that slightly, and I did see that caught a few of the lightweight girls out, actually, because I'm quite fortunate to have massive hands, but a lot of the 64s haven't got that luxury. So yeah, I did believe that I was capable of getting all 4, but I thought it was going to be smarter for me to pace it so that my heart rate didn't start going crazy. And as it happened, I paced it and then didn't get the last one anyway. So I think that was I think I came 5th or 6th in that. I think I got beat by a lot of girls who also got the 3rd dumbbell just on the basis that I was slower, because I really did believe that I was going to get that last one. And then went into natural stones absolutely buzzing because I'd been able to pick a very large stone up in warm-ups that I'd seen no one else able to do. And we got one chance in warm-ups to pick up one stone, and I went straight to that one and had a little feel of it, so I already knew that I could do the stone. Watching everyone else go out and no one else doing it, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be great. Went out there and couldn't quite find the same grip that I had in warm-up, so it took me a little bit longer to move the stone around, find my spot. By the time I found it, Racer next to me had already got it onto her knee, so I'm panicking then to get my arms in position. She didn't load the stone and I did, and at that time I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get an event win. And then everyone else came out and couldn't load that stone, and then of course Camilla, I'd forgotten about Camilla came out and she loaded all 4 beautifully, much nicer than I had done. So yeah, but still a 2nd place finish, which at that point I was just really happy with, and it bumped me up from 7th place to 6th. So that was where I finished, and by that time I was okay with that. But yeah, I think for my first real international competition experience, my first ever 10-hour flight, my first time sort of doing lots of these things, I can't really, or I shouldn't be too hard on myself about the things that went wrong. Yeah, I'm just motivated to do better next time and not make the same sort of mistakes that I did, and maybe not to think as much of myself in the lead up either, because I really did believe that I was, but it's hard because I've not done that in the past.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to try backing myself throughout the prep, and I did.
You just always perform best when you've not got pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not internal pressure, like in your own brain, pressure on yourself to do really well. You always do better when there's less pressure. It's like 73s at Europe this year. You weren't as bothered because you're not in your weight category. There was less pressure, and you performed. You performed like more. What's the word? Kind of you're more consistently kind of up there with what you can do in training. So
yeah, so I need to be more relaxed in that environment in the future, but obviously that is easier said than done when you are as mental as I am. Have we got anything else we want to say about Texas as a whole?
it was very, very good. I go to Arizona quite a bit with work, and it reminded me a lot of Arizona, to be fair. It's quite similar to Arizona. But it was really, really good. I really enjoyed the experience. Fort Worth was really good.
Yeah.
Arlington was good. We went out and had a few drinks after day 3, didn't we? That was good.
No one invited us to the after party though.
Yeah.
So
that
we'll
was
touch on
outrageous.
that. We will touch on that now.
That was a lot of bad people, actually.
Nobody at all invited us.
Yeah.
Donna Moore cold rejected us, didn't she?
She said, I'm not interested.
She said, I'm not interested in you or Joe Brown, Rosie Abercrombie. And Kate Connolly rejected us. We asked these people nicely to their faces and got a cold, hard no.
Yeah, literally. You know, they didn't mince their words. They said, absolutely not.
You're bastards. They didn't say that. They didn't say that. But they didn't want to drink with us. So we went out with Andy Reid, didn't we?
And Sigford.
And Sigfus. And you did lots of talking, didn't you, to Sigfus?
Lots of talk to Sigfus. We got on well. Andy Reid, I've known him for a while. The man gets where water can't. Nice fella from the northeast. And then
we had one more day to enjoy, didn't we, before we flew back?
Yeah, went to Dallas, which was slightly underwhelming.
Shit, a bit shit, wasn't it?
I wouldn't go as far as to say shit.
I wouldn't go, again.
It was, I don't know, it was very, very quiet for a Monday. I think we were there on a Monday, like, you know, you're expecting, there's a lot of big companies there, huge skyscrapers, and it was quite quiet. There wasn't really much of a hustle or bustle. Not really.
There was no hustle and no bustle.
It was just...
Neither.
Yeah. Anyway, we had a good flight back. We were
with cost of food, I've wrote there.
Yeah, better talk about that.
Right, anyway, so, what's next for us, you ask?
So I think we're open to suggestions. If people have got suggestions on what content they'd want us to make, then...
Oh no, I meant us personally.
Oh.
What's meant for us?
The channel. But...
Well, no, both, Luke. What's next for us? What's next for the channel? So just very quickly, because you've gone on loads.
You have.
You've gone on loads.
Honestly, this is what people want to see. This is why people want us to start a YouTube channel. They want to listen to me tell you that you talk a load of shite and that you go on. Come on.
What's no?
Just leave that alone.
What's next for me now, because that's what the people want to know, is a big relax. I'm going to do a really big relax for a little while. I'm going to have 12 weeks where I do no strongman training at all. I'm going to do loads of Olympic weightlifting. I'm going to do some CrossFit again, so be ready for that. And yeah, I'd really like to clean and press 100 kilos from the floor to over my head on a barbell before I allow myself to return to doing strongman events, and I think that's reasonable. Do you?
Yeah, and I think it's just a good way. You like to switch it up, don't you? And it doesn't serve you well to get into like routine with things.
I've done pathway for
it's not going to
so I've sort of just only done what I've needed to do for the next competition for a really long
like 2
time.
Years, it's just been like England's, Brits, Europe's, and then
repeat. I qualify to be there next year, so I can be there without going through the process of doing England's, Brits and Europe. So I'm going to take the first half of the year to just take a mental reset and then put all my eggs in the world's basket.
In the world's bastard.
Put all my eggs in the world's basket. Basket.
Yeah.
In the basket.
You're doing a lot of shouting. You don't need to project that much. You see this? It goes up to red.
Yeah.
When it's red, that's too loud.
Has it been doing that a lot?
Yeah, because you're projecting your voice a lot. But you only need to speak like this.
We probably don't need the microphone again, do we?
Probably not.
Right, so what's next for Joe Brown?
What's next for me is I'm doing a month of kind of a restorative phase. So I'm trying to...
God, that's better without the lighting in your face, isn't it?
It's a massive...
I've looked awful all the way through this.
So what's next for me is currently I'm doing a bit of a restorative phase for the next 4 weeks. I'm trying to get my knee healthy. I've got a bit of an instability in my other knee that I'm trying to work through as well, because I've had that my whole life, and it's not something that I've never addressed just because of laziness, really. So I'm trying to sort that out. I had a bit of tendinopathy in my
it was bad.
bicep, and I'm trying to sort that out, and I'm just doing a bit of a reset, really. And then after that, it will be
Midland Strongest Man.
Well, no, it'll be OSG England's qualifier first, online qualifier for that, and I think it's top 45 or something, so that shouldn't be particularly strenuous, really. And then it's Midland Strongest Man, and then that's for Ultimate Strongman Pathway, and then it's official Strongman England Strongest Man qualifier, so that's normally between 40 and 50 guys. It's crazy busy, and it's the level at that competition is insane. So those two are my first kind of goals, and then hopefully Ultimates England Strongest Man, hopefully official Strongman England's.
Oh my god!
And then
you've got loads on next year.
And then hopefully official Strongman Europe Strongest Man. There'll be the 5, and if that'll probably be all the competing I do next year, unless I qualify for something. I mean, and then obviously official Strongman England is a big ask as well. I mean, it's an amazing lineup, so we'll see.
Well, so Joe's doing significantly more than me next year, actually, which probably means that I'm going to be doing all the dinners, doesn't it?
Well, not necessarily. It's just...
It means that I'm going to be doing all the dinners. That's what I'm going to be doing.
I'm only doing what I do every year.
Yeah.
What I do every year.
But it's a lot. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Not really.
It does
It's 5
sound...
competitions over 12 months. It's not a massive amount.
It's too much for me now.
Well, it's potentially 4 as well, because, yeah.
So, yeah, in terms of what's next for the podcast...
It's not a podcast.
What is it then?
It's a YouTube channel. It's not a podcast.
I think they're interchangeable too. Sylvia calls them vlogs.
They're not a podcast.
Welcome to our vlog. What is it then?
It's just a YouTube channel.
I don't want a YouTube. I want a podcast.
It's not got a podcast.
Can't we call it a podcast? What do you want from the channel?
We're going to do some lifting content, obviously. We'll do some in the gym. We'll do some, we'll show some of our training days and stuff like that. We train together, tends to train together on a Saturday. I'll obviously be doing strongman events more so in the coming weeks. It's pretty boring at the minute if you watch my training. And yeah, I think obviously that we'll do some stuff with Ronnie as well. We want to bring her in and do some...
She wants to be brought in.
Obviously
she's absolutely begging to be brought into the equation.
Yep.
I will probably be creating content more sort of from the angle of what my clients are doing and why over the next few months, because I think I've got something like 15 clients competing on various national and international pathways next year, which is absolutely wild. But that's another reason why it's important that I take a bit of a step back the next few months, just because my workload is going to be crazy with that. But hopefully there's lots of interesting stuff that I can put out.
That's the other unique selling point of this kind of podcast.
It is a podcast. It's going to be a podcast, guys. It's a podcast. It's the pod to end all pods. Anyway, so watch yourself.
She's a coach, and we can kind of take it. You do a lot of in-person coaching as well, don't you? So we can kind of look at that kind of side of things as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that should we stop now?
Yeah, this has been very long.
It's been, I think 52 minutes is about right. After we've edited that, it'll be about 45.
That's long though, isn't it? I think.
Is that too long?
I think it might be.
30.
I think really, you're looking for a snappy, punchy 15 minutes.
Fuck off, I can't do that.
I mean, obviously, if you're creating, it's different if we're creating long form content like this. But I mean, if we're in a gym and we're doing, yeah. So we,
I think this is for the first one. I think 30 to 40 is right.
Yeah, but if you've got this far along, fair play to you.
If you've got this, I hope they have, because this is now the only time I look okay.
Loudmouth and Joe.
Right, we might call it that.
She is so loud, just so you know. That isn't like just the mic going, it's doing some weird thing where it picks Rosie up more. No, she is that loud. She's that loud in my ear. So, just so you know, it is...
Right, well, that's enough now. Right, okay, so we hope that you enjoyed the podcast. I'm not even saying anything, it's at capacity. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
We love you.
Don't know who you are, so I'm not going to say that, but bye.